Randy Castillo's personality is really the story. Randy was this impossible to ignore the fact that some shade of Randy's spirit has watched over our journey as filmmakers, no matter what your belief system is. Randy was this interesting looking Native American guy that for some reason you noticed.
Randy had this, vibe that he gave off from across the room, like a certain charisma.
You start talking to him and he's probably learning a lot more about you than you're learning about him, and you think, what a nice guy. You're still just hanging out with this guy who's a major rock star, but he's still just a guy, a regular guy. That's the Randy Castillo everybody loved and who I came to love and admire through the process of making this film. That's the person we lost when Randy Castillo died, and that's an important story to keep alive.
I said, well, you're a drummer. Who do you play drums for? He says, well, I play for Ozzy Osbourne. I go, you do? Really? And he goes, yeah, you know, the drummer for Ozzy Osbourne. I went, interesting.
When Mike Bell, the film's producer, was a kid, he sneaked into a bar underage to watch Randy play back in the 80s, and they became friends. As soon as Randy passed in 2002, Mike started making the picture, jumped in with both feet and started interviewing Randy's rock star friends when they came within driving distance of his home in Oklahoma City. These incredibly successful music industry people loved Randy Castillo and wanted to see a story told in the truest possible way. But one big blank spot we had in the story for a long time was that Randy's mother, Margaret, didn't want to be interviewed. She also didn't want to release any photos or footage of Randy taken after he had cancer. And we weren't going to push that. And Randy's sister, Chris, who worked very hard with us on the film, wasn't going to go against her mother's wishes. So we waited until Mrs. Castillo was ready, which happened a couple of years ago.
We sort of come from a musical family background because my husband was also a musician. And we always had music in the house, you know, all the time. All of a sudden, he just got this burning desire for the drums. Once he got his first set of drums, he started playing them in the garage without any lessons or anything. You know, he did it on his own until he started taking drum lessons. And there he went, you know.
After that interview, the film found its landing strip. We couldn't have constructed the same story without Mrs. Castillo's interview. She was beautiful, and she made it clear that the godfather of heavy metal drumming was also a good boy who loved his mother. Lita Ford made the film. She made the film real. She and I had several extended conversations about Randy and the shape of the story and the tone of the writing, and she reflected on this close friend she had lost. Her fingerprints were all over the script by the time it was finalized. I couldn't have written a narrative that told the story of Randy had Lita Ford not been involved. Kip Winger calls Randy Castillo the godfather of heavy metal drumming. Stevie Salas calls him the consummate artist. He had a rare combination of precision and power and made every musician he played with perform better. And to this day, a lot of the people who knew Randy in life believe he is still acting in their lives from the other side. As we worked on the picture, I heard more than one person say, "This is Randy doing this," when something fell together in the right way, or "Randy's watching over this." This man lived, and his life set waves into motion that are still traveling through generations. And through it all, the great man remained a good man. What more can you ask for out of a life?